Hi, so in this video I'm going to share another somatic practice for the whole of the spine, really, for twisting the spine, for turning the spine. And again, it's the same principle as the one that we did lying on our bellies. So we're going to focus on very gentle movements. We're not looking for stretch sensation at all. We are not looking to reach or get anywhere in particular. We're just kind of going to a place where it feels like, where we start to feel resistance and then we stop. We don't try and push past the resistance. So the first thing is to find a comfortable seat. You can do it sitting on a chair, absolutely, that would work fine. I'm going to do it on the floor, and I'm going to show you, here I've got a little blanket, just a little ledge for my bum to sit on, so the rest of my, so that my pelvis is straight. And I'm going to start sitting with one leg, kind of my legs, let me move it back a little bit. There we go. So I've got one leg just in front of the, one leg here and one leg here, two bends in the knees, rather than this kind of cross-legged thing. And we're going to start by turning the spine in this direction. And this is a method I learned from a teacher, Lisa Peterson. Yeah, she's a very good somatics teacher. So just to credit her with this exercise. So first of all, we're going to just turn the body, just turn the spine, and then let your head move until you find a place on the wall or whatever behind you where your eyes can rest. And just remember that point where they comfortably rest, not where they're reaching to, not where they're searching for, but where do your eyes go to when they look behind you. Okay, remember that place, remember that spot, let your body travel back to the start. And we'll begin by just moving, starting by moving this, I call it the back hip, so this would be the front hip. So I'm going to bring both my hands down, one hand is resting on my knee, the other's resting on the floor. If the floor feels quite far away, if you're sitting up quite high, then you can put a block there, or just to kind of give you a bit more stability. If you feel like you're tipping over, then bring the floor closer to you with some props. Okay, I feel okay not to have the block, so I'm just going to rest there. And so we're going to start on this back hip just by lifting and lowering. Okay. And it might be that it might feel like in the beginning there's quite little mobility. And don't worry about that. We're just seeing what happens, seeing where things go. It's just an exploration. So we're kind of just feeling into the pelvis and shifting the weight. My weight is shifting slightly forward as I do this and then back. And then it's kind of the place where the twist starts from, right? If we were just twisting in the torso, it would just be here, but we're thinking about the twist coming from the pelvis, so that's where we're starting from, that hip. We're not turning the body yet, we're just moving in the hip. Okay, and then just let that rest down again. And then this arm, this free arm, I'm going to bring it across my shoulder, and I'm going to lift the elbow up, lifting it up, and then lowering it down. My head's just moving with the arm at the moment. So not much to see here, not much happening here, just lifting and lowering the elbow. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can move my arm and my head in different directions. So my chin goes down as my elbow comes up. My head goes up as the elbow comes down. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to bring the elbow back up so that it's in line with the shoulder, both the shoulders. And then I'm going to bring the hip in again, and we're just going to turn with the arm up and back. Okay, so we've got that bit. And then let's see what happens. We turn and lift the elbow up, lift the head up, and then down, and then bring everything back to the start. So we lift the hip up, elbow, head, and up, and then down. Just do that a couple more times. Okay, and now we're going to lift up again, and then just stay in the middle. So the hips lifted, the arms up to about shoulder height. And now from here, I'm going to turn the head to the back shoulder as we've turned the torso in the direction that we've been going. Okay, so lifting up and then going back down, bring the hip down, bring the torso back, and then let your head travel to the other shoulder and then back again. So now we're turning the head in an opposite direction to the rest of the spine. Again, just letting everything move comfortably in space. Okay, and then for the last one, we let the hip come up, let the head lift, let the elbow lift again. And then we're going to stay, this time lifting the elbow, head comes down, lowering, everything comes down, back to the front. A couple more times, elbow lifts, head comes down, elbow comes down, head lifts, back to the front. And then resting everything back down, let your hand rest. And then we're going to do exactly what we did at the beginning. Just let the spine turn, let your head turn, and just see if your eyes comfortably rest in a different position. Now mine have travelled quite a bit, quite far, which is why I'm laughing to myself. It's quite a big impact for me. So see how it is for you, I'd love to know. And then we'd simply do the other side. Let's find out, let's investigate, see what happens on the other side. So again, supporting yourself if you need to on the surface, on the block. Yeah, I think I might use the block on this side. And then we're just going to find, okay, where do I naturally twist to? Where do my eyes comfortably rest? Behind. Cool. And then we'll bring the arm up onto the shoulder, and we'll start by, we'll start with the hips, won't we? So back hip lifts and lowers. So again, I'm not turning the torso, I'm just letting this hip lift and lower. Okay, let it lower again, and then hand coming into the shoulder now. And then we're going to lift the elbow to shoulder height, and lift the hip, lift the elbow, lift the head, and then everything comes back down. And it might be that you're kind of breathing in to lift and breathing out to lower, or it might be that your breath is just breathing spontaneously without any particular synchronicity with the movement, and that would be okay too, as long as we're breathing, as long as we're not holding the breath. And then hip comes up, elbow comes up, and then we'll try lifting the elbow, dropping the head, lowering the elbow, lifting the head, lowering the hip. So coordinating elbow with hip lifting, and shin just doing the opposite. Okay, last one. And then bringing the elbow up to shoulder height again, and then this time we'll lift hip, turning the torso, but the head turns to the opposite shoulder, and then the head goes back to the front as the hips come down. And then maybe one more. And everything rest back down. And then let's see, we'll turn our torso, turn the head, see where the eyes rest. And once again, my gaze now is resting considerably further along the wall than it was at the beginning. And with much more ease, I could feel some real restriction in the side of my neck when I first turned. It's about there. And now feeling a lot more open, a lot more spacious, a lot more free, without any stretch sensation at all, without stretching into anything. So I hope that's helpful. Please let me know your feedback, and if anything's not clear, just write me and let me know. Okay. Thank you, and I hope your shoulders and neck and spines feel happy after that.